Sometimes in fish keeping, the fish and the shrimp are the easiest part. Not always, but usually the frustration for people is the maintenance, the algae, and coming across problems you don't know how to solve. So why don't you check out today's video, see how I maintain this tank, resolve some algae issues, and we'll get it looking a lot better. So stay tuned. Okay, so welcome back to another video. Thanks for joining me. So, like I said, in today's video, we're going to be looking at some tank maintenance for the AGA 45p. Now, I've let that go a little bit, and it's got some algae issues, and in the past couple of videos I have suggested that I'm considering taking out the hydrofeeder pinnator feeder, which is now covered in algae, so that's made that decision a lot easier. But I think just like this tank, which if you haven't checked out the video for that yet, I'll put a link down in the description. Now this is a terrarium, and this only houses terrestrial plants, but like fish tanks, plants can be the hardest thing to get right. We can search care sheets for our animals, make sure they have the best enclosures, but sometimes keeping the environment and the plants healthy are the most difficult things. So why don't you go ahead now and check out the AGA 45p and see if we can help make it look a lot better than it is. Now the key to keeping any successful planted tank, terrarium, aquascape, wherever it may be, my first tip would be to try and get to understand your enclosure. Now what I mean by that is I've done a water change on this today, did a lot of maintenance, and I've noticed that there's a lot of dissolved organics in the water, which means I need to probably carry on doing frequent water changes, try and get that better balance, and that will hopefully prevent the algae. Now, there's lots of things that you can do to prevent algae in terms of reducing lighting periods, not overfeeding the tank. Now, I don't think I'm overfeeding the tank, but there was a lot of rotting plants and organics because there was a lot of plants gathering on the top, which caused us issues. Now, I think the tank looks a lot nicer now we've resolved that, but going forward, I'm going to try and keep things as simple as I can to try and dial things in and have an understanding of what's going on. So the less you put into your tank, the better chance you got of understanding what needs to be done. Now in this tank I use two different types of fertilizers, the Flourish General Fertilizer, and I also use Flourish Iron. Now I'm trying to keep that as simple as I can for the time being, and then I can see how the tank's getting along, see if it's lacking anything, and start to introduce that in, rather than introducing everything in the beginning, cause ourselves problems, not knowing what's gone wrong, and not being able to go ahead and resolve it. Now this is not a job that's done in one day. Now I need to make sure I keep on top of this and work on the things I've learned. So like I said earlier, I'm going to do daily water changes for the next week now, try and bring those organics down, hopefully help us prevent the algae coming back. The biggest tip I'd say as well is, like I've done today, is if there's any plants with algae on, you're better off going in, taking those leaves off, taking those shoots out, and getting it out of the tank. That's the best way of combating this. Now I can see there's little bits of algae and little bits I've missed, so I'll continue to do that throughout the week and hopefully we'll resolve this problem. Now in this tank I'm probably going to look to replace some of the plants towards the back in the middle, just because I don't think it's got the right shape. It needs a bit of height towards the back. Yeah, we've got the bogwood in there which is piercing out through the plants, but I feel like the shape is a little bit flat towards the back. So I'm going to be considering what I'm going to add in there. So if you have any suggestions, make sure you hit me up in the comment section below. Now there's a couple of issues I still want to tackle in this. Firstly being the algae, I want to make sure that doesn't come back and remove any that I can. We still have snails in the tank and I've been removing those as I've been seeing them, but they're difficult to stay on top of. So I'm probably going to get some assassin snails or one assassin snail to try and combat this in the future. So running on this tank, I've got the Twin Star Light. And we've also got the Oase filter. And I'm probably going to try and upgrade the filter just because the flow isn't as much as I'd like. Now I know a lot of people, even people with 45p's, will put huge filters on these. So I'm probably going to do an upgrade very, very soon. But overall, I'm really happy with this tank now. It's nice that we've got a bit of maintenance done and we've managed to resolve some of the issues that we had. Now all the fish are doing really well. Obviously we've got the mosquito raspora in here, as well as the black tiger darios, and we've got some Bloody Mary shrimp which are still breeding, and I see more and more babies as we've done the maintenance on this tank. I hope you agree this tank's looking a lot better. Now if you want to see some more in-depth videos like these, then be really interested to know, so make sure you let me know in the comment section below. As always, I'll keep you up to date on how this tank is doing and everything else around the room. But as always, if you're a new viewer to this channel, first of all a massive thanks and hello. And if you can do me a massive favour and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss out any future videos. As well, if you're a regular viewer, if you can do me a massive favour and give me that thumbs up, drop me a comment just so YouTube are enjoying this sort of content and allows me to make more videos like these. But I think that's enough of me waffling on for one video. Thanks very much for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one.